Matthew Schaefer is the next Conor McDavid. It's eerie how similar they are, from skating style to offensive philosophy to even playing on the same junior club. Schaefer just set the record for most goals from an 18-year-old defenseman, passing Hall of Famers on the way to do it. A true franchise-changing piece that is going to dominate highlight reels for the next 20 years. Matthew Schaefer is the truth, and he's the next step in the evolution of hockey. Schaefer has turned everyone's heads this season, and his recent string of all-time records that he's broken is just a sneak peek of what he's going to do going forward. Through 61 games this season, he has 20 goals and 44 points, while the advanced stats consider him the 6th best defenseman in the world in total contribution. So what makes him so good? And why am I tossing Schlavo's name around so liberally? Well, when McDavid entered the NHL, he raised the ceiling for what's possible with skating in hockey. Before McDavid, skaters mainly relied on downhill movement first and foremost. In the decades prior, a lot of the fastest players were pure goal scorers who created breakaways. Pavel Bure back in the 1990s was one of the most electric athletes of all time. He was a Russian rocket. He would burn down the wing and create a highlight. He scored 60 goals twice for the Canucks, and he lost in the Cup Finals in '94. For all of his strengths, as one of the best players of all time, he wasn't necessarily a playmaker. It was possible to just outskate a defenseman. One good move paired with his speed was all he needed for a goal. But by the 2000s, we saw smaller guys who could absolutely buzz. They hit top speeds quickly and they scored a lot of highlight reel goals. Marian Gaborik on the Minnesota Wild. He was a speed demon, one of the fastest players of all time, and he played in one of the slowest eras in hockey history. Take a look at how he starts skating. It's these aggressive crossovers. He's gaining speed on every step. It's just more ice to push off of. As he gets going at top speed though, notice how he settles into these long strides. That was standard practice for elite skaters at the time. Now, enter Conor McDavid. He basically never stops using crossovers to gain speed. Not only does it give you an incredible top-end speed if your legs will let you do it, it also lets you be more deceptive than a straight line player. And that deception is why he's such a good playmaker and why he's so good through the neutral zone. He's bending the other team's structure to make a play. To put it simply, this speed matched with how he processes the game is what makes him the best player of all time. But that was 2015. And now, 10 years later, Matthew Schaefer is the first defenseman to come into the NHL and right away carry the same traits that Conor McDavid had. Unreal vision and generational skating means that Schaefer is making plays that only a handful of people can even do in the NHL. And he's doing it every single night. For starters, it's via Mike Kelly. Matthew Schaefer is top 3 in the NHL in puck possession, zone exits, zone entries, and open ice dekes among defensemen. He's being used like a 10-year veteran, and he's controlling the puck like he's Lane Hudson, except he's 5 inches taller. It comes down to his ability to beat the F1. Creates an immediate numbers advantage up high, which, when playing with other elite skaters like Matt Barzal, can make for some difficult decisions for opposing defenses. Play the pass or play the body. But Schaefer can also just solo the entire rush. It's something you don't see even modern defensemen do outside of the very best in the league. It's because of his acceleration with these crossovers. His acceleration is as good as any defenseman in the sport, and his high-end speed is as well. He leads all defensemen in 22 or more mile-per-hour bursts of speed. But okay, I know some figure skaters who competed in Milan who could probably skate about this quick. What makes Schaefer so impressive is how he's processing the game at this speed. What you see on TV are the little head fakes and the quick one-move dekes that somehow open up an ocean of ice. That's coming from an understanding of how structures will react to your action. So 1v3 versus the Capitals. They're parked at the blue line. Another fast skater might try to go wide here to secure the entry, especially considering he has no support. Schaefer, however, goes straight up the gut. It's pretty ballsy because, unless you're Thanos, you're not going to make those defenders disappear. So what do? Well, Dylan Strome isn't a defender. His role as the last forward back is to put immediate pressure on Schaefer, who actually doesn't mind people coming towards him. A little push move, and now he's being defended by a left-handed stick with enough of a gap to get a shot off. Schaefer is always looking to pull defenders in so he can step around them. Knowing what the opposition doesn't want and using that to create a new look is exactly how McDavid has been able to create so much in the NHL. And that's exactly how Schaefer operates. That's why Schaefer is always hitting little give and goes and building up speed when defenders aren't on him. Still, at the end of the day, this is the NHL, and a well-oiled neutral zone forecheck could absolutely shut down Schaefer if he was solo rushing the entire game. But if Schaefer's hitting about 20 straight piston crossovers before picking up the puck, he's going to be able to breeze right through you. You'll put it in the feet, drop the shoulder, and make a power move to the slot. Sorry, Riley. This might be the worst Morgan Riley got walked since, that one Schlavo highlight against Toronto. But all of this points to one trait that will follow Schaefer his entire career: the ability to control the neutral zone. Look at what Schaefer can do against a 1-3-1 neutral zone forecheck. It's a structure that's meant to force you to dump it in at the blue line. And Schaefer has no problem beating the F1, hitting a deke on the F2, and entering with possession. You know what team was ride or die with the 1-3-1 this decade? The LA Kings. You know who has the most playoff points against the LA Kings in NHL history? It's Conor McDavid. Matthew Schaefer is the closest thing we've seen to Conor McDavid since Schlevo was drafted. But something that's been catching every headline recently has been Schaefer's goal scoring. He's the first rookie to hit 20 goals this season, and he's set the all-time record for goals from an 18-year-old defenseman. So how is he scoring so much? Well, like we've seen since the beginning of this sport, if you're faster than everyone, you can create some pretty nasty looks for yourself. And add in the fact that Schaefer roams like the same way Bobby Orr did. He's been crashing the net on his own rebounds all season. After almost every shot, he's first to the puck, and he has a great sense for how to keep possession after getting there. He weaponizes his speed, agility, and acceleration on every single play. This is a staple though. Burning down the right wing, dropping the shoulder, and making a power move into the net front. This is where it gets insane with Schaefer. This is a forwards move, a power forward move. You don't see defensemen do this because they shouldn't be in a position to get behind the defense like this. The only defensemen in the league who transition and lead the rush the way Schaefer does, Hudson and Hughes, are both under 6 feet. Following up on his own shots and this exact power move, actually, is why Schaefer is currently second among all defensemen in high danger chances at even strength this season. He's capable of creating elite looks for himself, the kind of plays that work against any system and done entirely on his own. This is a McDavid look. It's the kind of chance you can't stop by prepping for it. You have to just hope he misses. But Schaefer hitting 20 goals is still really impressive, and it's not just one move the entire season. It helps that he has a pretty heavy wrist shot. I'm not going to say he's got an elite shot though. He's getting a lot of goals, but he's also putting a lot on net. And he has a tendency to just shoot it from the point when he's in trouble at the blue line. Not the end of the world, for sure. But if we're going to compare him to guys like Hughes, Makar, and Hudson, it's fair to say that Schaefer doesn't have the escapability that those guys have. Or at least not yet. But that's part of why Schaefer has a crazy ratio of goals to assists as a defenseman. His in-zone offense isn't as much about playmaking. That's reflected in how he's 286th in passes to the slot this season and how he has just 7 primary assists at 5v5 all year. Not that he can't make a play, it just doesn't seem like he's making plays like a Hughes or a Hudson might. He's more or less chucking the puck on net in a lot of these situations. And honestly, that could work if you're Zach Werenski, who flicks a puck so subtly from the point. It's such a little movement and allows you to wait until your opening is there before you pick your spot. Schaefer doesn't necessarily have that. A moment like this, Schaefer has 2 options: take the shot or push it out and go down the wing. Once he committed to the shot, there wasn't much opportunity to move it. Basically, his shot is pretty telegraphed. But then again, I mean, Schaefer's got like 20 goals already, so what the hell do I know? But getting the puck back at the blue line, 3 Predators are deep in the zone. This is where Quinn Hughes might spread the zone and pass to his D partner, or try to walk into the open ice, or try to take advantage of the extra forward. Schaefer is just putting it on right away for a rebound chance, something that's not necessarily likely to land with only 2 teammates down low. That being said, he's going to have a lot of time to work at this. The guy's 18 years old. He's already raised the floor for this Islanders team overnight, and this group is sitting comfortably in a playoff spot thanks to Schaefer, a teenager who is easily a top 10 defenseman in the NHL already. That feeling right now where no one knows the ceiling, that's what it felt like when McDavid entered the NHL. 10 years ago to the day, we are witnessing greatness unfold all over again. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Bye-bye.